Welcome to Trending Faith here on GCU TV. My name is Ashley Romantic, and let's get started with our question. Are ghosts real? What do you think, Tim?
Well, I'll tell you what I do think is that it's fascinating to me that people are so enamored with zombies and vampires and ghosts. It just seems to be a huge part of popular culture today. But I think it's a fair question, this whole idea of ghosts, are they real? From a biblical perspective, at least my vantage point is that anytime there's a reference to spiritual beings, they tend to be angels or demons. So I don't know that I would classify whatever kind of entity somebody might think that they're interacting with would be a ghost or somebody that has died and their spirit has come back to visit somebody or have a conversation or whatever. But more likely that it's probably either an angel or it's a demon. I think it's interesting that the scripture references the fact that sometimes we will entertain angels unaware, that we might actually be having some kind of an interaction with a spiritual created being that God has allowed to interact with human beings here. So to me, that's kind of interesting. The scripture has a variety of stories about demons that Jesus interacted with. Those, again, were a very unique group of created beings, not referenced as a ghost. So I don't know if there's much biblical support for the idea of ghosts. I think at the very least, that the scriptures are pretty clear that those kind of spiritual beings that we interact with that are not like us are probably angelic in nature, whether they be demonic or angels that serve God's purposes.
Do you think Casper's real?
Well, I've seen Casper on television, so I'm a little more inclined to think Casper's real. No, no, Tim and I think, are on the exact same page here. Ghosts are in the sense of disembodied spirits, so humans who have died and now their spirit is walking among us. That concept is very foreign to the biblical witness. The Bible consistently teaches that essentially a person, when separated, when the body and the soul are separated at the point of death, they either go to be in the presence of the Lord or they're separated from His presence. Now, our viewers may be familiar with a story from the Old Testament about the witch of Endor, in which Saul goes to a witch, King Saul goes to a witch against his own commands and against the teachings of the Old Testament, and he asks her to resurrect the spirit of Samuel. And so she brings back a spirit and he interacts. But again, this is out of bounds biblically. He's doing something he ought not do. It may well have been a demon deceptively pretending to be Samuel. We don't know. But in any clear-cut discussion about spirits, I think Tim's right. That does not seem to be ghosts like you might find in movies or in popular folklore. They definitely seem to be demonic or angelic spirits, beings of some sort. Other than that, I definitely have no particular feelings passionately one way or the other about Casper. I need to go on the record with that.
I want to know about zombies.
Zombies.
I'm all about vampires myself. So. Well, I hope that answers your question. And as always, if you have a question or comment, please feel free to send it to us at trendingfaith@gcu.edu or use the hashtag trendingfaith.